Hi there, and thank you for joining us on the Overcomers Overcoming podcast. We feature those who are in the process of overcoming or have overcome any type of life encounter, life obstacle that at the time seemed to be almost insurmountable. With this podcast, we have three objectives in mind. Our first objective is we want you to know with a confident resolve you are not alone. We want to work with you. We want you to know there are others who are working with you, who want to help you through whatever you are encountering, and together we will get through whatever you're experiencing.
Our second objective is there are multiple options for any life encounter you are facing. We want to help you develop a resolve that there are various options and solutions to any life dilemma.
Our third objective is to help you with critical thinking skills. If you're encountering something that was possibly a decision you made sometime in the past, and if you had the opportunity for a life redo, you would make a different decision. We want to help you with those critical thinking skills that can help you make an informed decision and not encounter what you're going through at the moment. We are the Cooper Culture, a veteran-owned business. We work with business personnel and families to develop and sustain connected relationship cultures within their families and organizations. That type organization is one where people feel wanted, appreciated, and genuinely a part of that organization. I'm with my wife and business partner, Marty, who has helped me facilitate this podcast. Today we feature Yousef Benhamida, who describes for us several instances of how he overcame financial devastation to become the person he is. What he did is had the resolve to speak with those who are socioeconomically where he wanted to be, and he spoke with those who were quite wealthy, and those people largely were willing to discuss with him how he could become the person he wants to be to overcome the tragedies of having no money, no car, no women, and being able to become the person he wants to be. And it was through the mentorship of those who are where he wanted to be that he was able to overcome a life of devastation. Marty, what are some takeaways our listeners can gain from Yousef?
Yousef had a great personality, and that was an asset for him. He wasn't afraid to go to these people that were where he wanted to be, and I believe he had one that really took interest in him and showed him how he could become what he wanted to have. He wanted to have the cars, he wanted to have the hot women, he wanted to have it all. And he did get that, but then he lost it. So then he had to reorganize himself, you could say, and just get back into what he really wanted. And he did earn that. He is a successful person, but he does have that personality that just kind of wins you over.
If having a hot woman is reminiscent of being successful, I'm very successful with my hot woman. Let's listen and learn together. Yousef, it's great to have you with us. You have an interesting title for your life story, Pain, Chaos, and Comeback, turning rock bottom into the launchpad for a new life. Our listeners are going to be very interested in learning about you, your resolve to overcome whatever it is you've experienced in the past, how you made decisions, what it was. Maybe you had some people in your life that helped you overcome adversity, whatever it is. But Yousef, great to have you with us. Our listeners are going to be very interested in learning your backstory, but more so how you continue today and forward. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Tell us, Yousef, give us kind of, I call it the 30,000 foot view of your past. And what is it about your past, the pain, chaos, and the comeback that you were able to turn from rock bottom and launch a new life. Uh, Give us the backstory on that.
Backstory. Okay, yeah. So I was just the youngest of four boys, and I wasn't born in the wealthiest of families, and I just always wanted freedom. So I kind of fought through life, going after money, freedom, success in all areas, trying to find a lovely lady for myself as well, and or let her find me, and going after everything that as a guy, I have the desires to at least and to do it at a yeah. So it just a lot of pain has come through all that, going after the money, dealing with relationships with women, and keeping my physical sanity or physical health good and my sanity good. All that stuff, it adds up. It really depends also on how high you are trying to go, uh, what kind of company you're trying to build, what kind of wealth you're trying to go after. So I've experienced obviously a lot of setbacks and pain and, as you say, rock bottom moments. So hopefully those do not come. What I've experienced in the past does not occur in the future. So
Well, yeah, two things that right away come to mind is your economic upbringing. You acknowledge that you were not born into a rich family, but then overcoming setbacks. But it would be easy. It would have been easy for you to say, "Hey, I wasn't born in a rich family. We never had a lot of money, so I'm used to living without very much money, and so I'm just going to live in. I'll use the term poverty." But you determined that no, that's not the life you want. Would
yeah.
that be a fair characterization, your thought of your early life?
Yeah, so yes. And yeah, I mean, I'm thinking back exactly to moments where in my life I made decisions and everything changed. Um, but yes, basically, I exactly what you said.
Are you a very determined kind of guy? Would you categorize yourself that way? In other words, I will overcome any obstacle I have. I'm very resilient, whatever term you want to put that. Are you naturally that kind of person?
Give it my best shot. Give it my best shot. You can't really control the outcome so much, but if you fight every day and you put in everything you have and you learn and you know that and you think that you're making the best decision and you can make sure you're making the best decision that will be like the best play on the chessboard of life, then you'll have the best possible chance that that will happen. So I'm hoping, and you get closer every day, but every day is a fight.
Talk to us about the setbacks. And I use the term frequently. I want to make certain I make an informed decision. And so you impress me as the kind of person who wants to make a good decision. Are you the kind of person who always looked at all the facts and factors and not be impulsive? And put that in the context of how you overcame
Yeah.
various setbacks.
So back now I'm 37. So when you do the best with the knowledge that you have. So you make mistakes. And now the cool thing is that with Chat GPT and AI, it's so smart that I can actually minimize the amount of mistakes that you can make. It can see the board way further. If you input all the information of everything you have, every category, it can tell you that move that nobody else sees or you didn't even know yourself. So now and that's just very recent. It's very, it hasn't really been happening for a while. It's getting so smart. So, um, yeah, I will definitely try to make the best move and ask AI with some information nowadays. But before it was just like you don't know. You gather the info from everybody you can, everybody who's done it. Find everybody who's done what you're trying to do and ask all of them and see the similarity patterns between all of them and then make your best move. And now you can throw everything into AI and then ask it, and that'll even help you better make a better move. So, but for the most part, yeah, just trial and error and gather all the knowledge,
All
and
right.
then
I'm very
yeah.
interested in two aspects of what you just said. Talk to us about pre AI. Did you have specific friends that you felt mentored you, or whatever term you may use, that helped you make decisions? You felt your statement indicated to me you had friends that you felt confident you could speak to, and it's all in the context of a setback. They may have told you, well, you did make the best decision, and maybe that's what caused the setback. But a lot of things in that question, Yousef, and I'm very curious. Did you surround yourself with people that you felt that you could express yourself and help make good decisions?
Not always, no.
Okay.
I wasted plenty of time with people who are not the people I should have been hanging around. But no, there was a time when I've definitely reached out to people who are way further ahead. People twice my age is I've commonly done it. There's one guy, Tom Gigax. He sold Tires Plus to Bridgestone, and I went up to him because he's a member of my tennis club, and he was charging $700 an hour, and I didn't have $700 to give him, so I asked him if he just talk to me for an hour for $100, and he did it. I took my notepad and I wrote down everything he told me. He told me 6 things. I did those 6 things and my life changed. That was 11 years ago.
Oh, that's great. So you knew to reach out. You gotta talk with someone to compare ideas, to
Yeah.
formulate decisions, and so forth. And has that been pretty much characteristic of all throughout your life, whatever setbacks you've
Yeah.
experienced?
So this is such a great question, right? This is like such an important question that people don't know. So not always, no. For the most part, when I was younger, I was a know-it-all. I didn't know what I didn't know. There's the four knows. I know that I know. I know that I don't know. I don't know that I know, and I don't know that I don't know. I learned that around 22 from my tennis coach. And then I started, you do things on your own until you realize they're not working, or the pain just happens and everything's falling over. And then you get desperate and you finally throw your ego aside. And then you ask somebody like, hey, what do I do? Hopefully the right person to ask. But no, I didn't always know. Now, when I make big decisions, I will never make or build something on a path unless somebody has ever done it before. So there are a few people I've talked to recently. I've talked to both founders of MBMT. They sold their business for a few $100 million. Luckily, one of them was a friend of mine, was the assistant coaches on UCSC tennis team. Kramer LaPlante is the son of Liz LaPlante. So I was able to just get in touch with him. Jake Casson, I paid him over intro. I paid him $1,000 to talk to him for half an hour. And he's also a friend in my group in San Diego, I ran into him, but I'm like, look, I'm going to talk to you for business. I'll give you $1,000 for 30 minutes. There's no way I'm going to talk to the guy for 30 minutes straight about business. The info that he gave me, the perception that I was able to absorb from these people completely changed the course of trajectory of my business. I talked to Paul Orfalia, billionaire, the guy who did Kinko's. I paid $800 or $600 on intro or whatever for half an hour. I've talked to plenty of people. I've paid people, and I will always consult people who've done it. I won't just ask AI because they've done it. They've seen it differently. The guy above me, his name's Jonathan Cogley. His business sold for $1 billion. I talked to him. He met with me for free, and I talked to him about everything. And the info that I got from him, I can't even tell you what it led me to, because they have this inside info of their perspective. And once you can gain their perspective and you can get inside their head, it completely changes your world. So, when you're talking to billionaires, multiple billionaires, and all these people who do hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is just business. This is only the category of business. It's very important. I could not be making the decisions I'm making and without have talked to all of them and have the confidence that I have.
As you spoke with, you learned millionaires, billionaires. Did you find that most of them were willing to speak with you because of your entrepreneurial mindset, or did you come across those that said, "Well, you're not a billionaire now, therefore I'm not going to talk with you until you are," kind of thing? Or how
Yeah.
did you learn to associate with these kind of people?
Yeah. It's very like they've already done it. They've already done it. You don't have to there's no guesswork. If
No,
you don't want to
but
talk
what
to somebody
I'm
who hasn't done it.
yes, no, but what
Hey,
I'm
how do
what I,
how do I get to X on the map? Well, I've never been to X on the map, but I can tell you where I think they've already been to X. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, there's some who have the attitude, well, if you're not a billionaire, hey, you're not in my club. Therefore, I don't feel that I need to associate with you. But did you find that most of these were willing to share information with you?
Yeah.
Was that their mindset?
No, so on intro you can pay to talk to people, but some people are more willing. Their time is scarce. You have to
Yep.
understand their time is scarce, so they're willing to give only so much. Like I have kids who I get DMs from kids, and I'll talk to them, but I'll only talk to them so much because I only have so much time. So some of them are more willing than others. It just really depends.
Okay. But you found those who were willing to devote some amount of time to you, maybe at a cost, but they're at least willing to share information with you. Is that a fair characterization?
Yeah, it depends on how well you know them and how much you want to talk to them about it. It just really depends. So,
Sure.
yeah.
But did you find most of them are willing to spend, what, 15, 30 minutes with you or so, just to pass on a few nuggets of information?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, some of them, like I was able to talk to Kramer, the guy upstairs, Jonathan. Sometimes it's just easier though to just pay. Like it's
Yep.
just been easier. I talked to another guy. I talked to Ben Mala. Um, he's a guy on YouTube. But I just paid. It's just easier sometimes to pay. It's just quicker.
Right.
You don't have to ask and wait. It's like, look, I need this now. Like, I need to talk to you. It's like, I need to talk to you like an advisor right now. I'm about to make some big decisions. Boom, here you go. And then you get it. It's the time aspect.
Sure. Was there a major setback in your life that, maybe at the time you thought, I'm not sure how I'm going to recover from this, but yet in hindsight, you think, nope, I really learned through this?
Yeah. And yeah, I've definitely thought I wasn't going to recover. No, I thought I was done. Yeah, I thought I was done.
Describe to me, or to our listeners, one or several setbacks that you think,
Yeah.
wow, at the time I thought this may be the end of it, but what was the impetus? How did you overcome the resilience? I mean, you're the kind of person who said, "Well, I'm not going to go into isolation. I'll overcome somehow, some way." It seems.
Yeah. Yeah. So there were two times that come to my mind really quickly. One time was when the industry that I was in kind of tanked in 2018. The whole industry of hydroponics kind of tanked, and I just I was like, I'm going to sell my company. Like, I got to sell it, but I couldn't sell it really. And then I was like, what am I going to do? There's nothing else for me to do. So what I ended up doing was I was like, well, I guess I'll just do nothing because I don't know what to do. I've been doing this for so long. And then all of a sudden COVID happened, and then my business did better than ever because e-commerce and home and garden skyrocketed, and then it took my business to, like, I'd never made that much money in my life. So, and then another time was when, I lost I think it was around the same time. It was actually around the same time a girl broke up with me and went off with another guy. Same period, my business went to zero. IRS was full auditing me, and I had to sell my Ferrari car. And so I had basically no car, no girl, no money. I lost it all. I had the car, I had the girl, I had the money. Um, and then all of a sudden it was like zero, and I was shaking, brittle. Definitely, I definitely thought I might jump off a cliff. It was, the shaking craziness where you're like 3 months and you're shaking craziness and you can't eat and you can't get out of bed, and yeah, I don't even know how I got through it.
Okay, so that's where you were. So in hindsight, what decisions did you make? What people did you associate with? How did you recover from?
Yeah.
That was what I'm interpreting as a life devastating event.
Yeah, life death devastating event because my dream was to have money, a Ferrari, and a girl, right? So
All right, and you didn't have any of the three at that time.
no, no. Um, so yeah, what did I do? It's awful. I just dealt with it. I dealt with it every day. And when something like that happens, I wrote a book about it too. That's what it led to me spending 2 years on a book about the whole thing. And then I just rebuilt slowly. I analyzed everything. I analyzed, why is a business going on? I looked at the chessboard of life and I said, how did this happen? My body's freaking out. What happened? So over the course of a year, probably, you retrace all the steps that you took. It's typically like what happens when you go through breakups. You replay events over and over and over and over because your mind wants to figure out what went wrong. What did I not know? What is this? What is it? What am I trying to be taught right now? So you have quite a bit of time to figure out what you did wrong. And so I kind of compiled a lot of that in the book that I wrote. Like, what did I do wrong? And so people say, oh, what would you tell your younger self? I would give them my book. That's why I wrote the book. So it's like an SOP for like somebody at your business. Here it is. I'll lay it on. This is what happened. Don't make the same mistake. So yeah, I just dealt with it day by day and fixed things slowly, figured out what was going wrong. And a lot of it was internal. I had to look in the mirror. I had to look in the mirror every day. What was going wrong was I was looking at it every day. Everything that was going wrong was me. So I just had to keep looking in the mirror every day and looking and saying like, trying to look at myself and figure out what's wrong. Like I look at my business. I look at computer screens. I have lots of computer screens. I see everything. I see the whole company visually, every dashboard, all the teams, boom, 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 boom. I see the warehouse. I go boom, 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 boom. I see everything. I see this is not organized. Then it comes a point where you got to look at the mirror every day and you go, what's wrong? What am I doing wrong? And you can be doing a lot of things wrong and you don't know. A lot. You'd spend a lot of time looking at yourself. You figure out you're doing a lot of things wrong. So yeah.
And you seem to be saying that in retrospective look, you caused your demise of the what was a life major setback that no car, no woman, no money. You eventually caused all that. Am I reading you correctly?
For the most part, I caused it by not knowing lots of things and either not doing or doing things when I should have.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking you, Yousef, is because the age-old axiom is you cannot continue doing what you've done in the past and expect different results. That you've got to change. You made some major life decisions to reverse the situation that caused the setback to recover to be the person you are today. Am I processing what you're saying correctly?
So, say that one more time. Sorry.
But
That's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot there. You took a retroactive look at yourself and you said, okay, you caused the situation that you were in, that devastating setback,
Yeah.
and you took time to analyze the decisions you made and so forth. And it seems you said, I can't continue doing what I'm doing. I have to make a change.
Yeah.
And rather than isolate and so forth, over at least it was at least a year, maybe 2 years, you eventually recovered from that major setback. Again,
Yeah.
am I processing correctly what you
Yeah, no, I can't
did?
recall if I don't know if I isolated. I can't really recall what I did exactly in terms of that. But yeah, no, I mean obviously um yeah, I had to what you're saying, yeah, is accurate. Other than the isolation part.
Yes, and I'm just asking if you did. The reason I ask you that is because it's quite likely we have one or more listeners who are experiencing or they're going toward it. They're in a setback. It's in motion. They're going the wrong direction, and
Ah,
so
okay. Okay.
what I'm asking you, Yousef, is that for the listener who says, "Man, I tell you what, Yousef, if you could talk with that person one on one, my revenue is decreasing. My girl doesn't like me as much, and
Yeah,
I can no longer afford the car.
sure.
Man, everything that was my identity is falling apart."
Sure.
If you were talking with that person, what would
Yeah.
you tell that person to do?
Yeah. Well, I would probably tell them three things. Okay. Three things. Okay. Okay. If I was talking to them, this is exactly what I would say. Number one, I would ask them if they drink alcohol and do drugs because that creates an illusion and removes clarity, and the truth lives in clarity.
Very well said. Like it.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the reasons why what happened to me was because I was living an illusion and I was or escaping. I was living in a fantasy land, and people drink alcohol and it's everywhere and it's so easily accessed, but it's an escape from the truth, and everything lies in the truth. Number two, I would ask them, let's see, number two, I would tell them to pray. I would tell them to pray. I would tell them to pray. I'm telling you, I've seen some crazy things happen. I don't even know where these things come from to help me out, but I've seen it enough, and enough weird things have happened to me that are probability. The probability doesn't make sense. And so I'm like, okay, something, I don't know how we're here, but something might come to help you if if you're a good person and you pray. So I've heard a lot of people say that stuff, like Jim Carrey, oh, pray to the Virgin Mary, or Steve Harvey says pray. Tell you what, sometimes when you pray, something will come eventually and save you. So, um, number three, I mean, those are the first two. I'd probably go, a little bit deeper and yeah, figure some things out first. But those are
No,
two
that
good ones.
you see, that's all good. That what I'm processing, you're saying you had to take an introspective look in, am I doing the right things? Am I living the right life? And okay, come off drugs and alcohol if you're doing that to help relieve whatever pain you think you're experiencing, because there's no value in that. And then do get with the right people and pray. Marty and I are faith based. We definitely believe in prayer, and so asking the someone who has greater wisdom than us how we can recover from and do better. We're a definite believers in that kind of philosophy, those kind of actions. But you're the kind of person that seems, Yousef, that no amount of devastation is going to keep you down. You're going to recover from anything that you experience. Is that an accurate description of you?
Yeah, that's funny that you say that. Yeah, I hope so. Sometimes I haven't like lost a limb. Sometimes I think, oh man, what if this happened to me? I see these stories, or that happened to me, or like, man, that would be brutal. Like, how could I recover from that? But yeah, I probably would find a way.
Well, my guess is you will. You'd find a way to recover from, but nothing is going to keep you down. I just sense that that's one aspect of a quality you have is resilience. That somehow, some way, we're going to recover. And um, have you had to, as you're going through recovery from setbacks and so forth, have you had to maybe repurpose your life goals? Think things like that.
Oh yeah, I've completely repurposed my life goals. Yeah, no, I wrote down, the way I want my future to be in X years and how I want my life, and now I will only do things that are in, I would say, alignment with that. I've not always done that, but I did that starting like very, very detailed description, and then I X out the noise from everything else. But I figured that out by writing it all down over the years and then removing stuff. Like I thought I wanted the Ferrari. Okay, I don't care about the Ferrari. I thought I want this or that. You put things in there and then you realize, well, I guess I don't really want that anymore. So you kind of clean it up. It's like you clean house. So yeah, I've completely. Did I answer the question?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's whatever your life was, but it sounds as if you're saying that your life may have been at one point defined by, if I have a girl, good looking, or who knows, maybe six girls on each arm, maybe a fleet full of cars and so forth. My identity is in that. And have you maybe redefined
Yeah.
your identity that was, hey, I no longer need the cars and women? I will tell you,
Yeah.
one woman, and the one I have of 57 years is real
Yeah.
fine.
Uh, so I wouldn't mind having some of those things, but it's not my focus right now. I
Yep.
have yeah, it's not like I don't care about having multiple cars right now. Maybe somewhere down the line, but that's not really a focus because you get multiple, you can be able to get that as a byproduct of doing other things, creating value in business. So you have to be focused on creating a stellar business, where you can provide the world with something that they want in exchange for their money, and then you can get those cars. But you got to be focused. It's like you got to be focused on putting in the work, not the outcome of what you can get after.
Well, there you go. That's very sage advice. What's the name of your book?
$1 million, hot girls, and a Ferrari.
Wow. And that book is available through Amazon or any place books are sold, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I made the audiobook too. So there's an
Okay.
audiobook on Amazon or Audible too. So
Wow. Cars and hot women. And now, I got to ask you, was it the catchy title that you wanted, or because it seems now yeah, I mean everybody wants a hot woman, but
yeah.
maybe the emphasis on cars is not what it used to be. But I'm curious.
Yeah.
Was it the book title that I mean just the catchy title, the primarily you wanted?
So you know how thoughts come into your head gradually every day, oh, and then you start working on it, and then boo. So obviously, those are some things that I've always wanted in my life, right?
Yep.
And most guys will never have it, right? And the thoughts just kept coming into my head from me, also from like seeing social media stuff. Everybody was talking about $1 million, hot girls, a Ferrari. I kept seeing it. I kept seeing it from everything online, from everything I've always wanted, from everything I know that guys would want, and most guys will never get it. And I got it. So I'm like, wow, this is a perfect thing to write a story on this. And the whole catchy thing is will it make you happy at all? And the whole story is a pretty good story if you check it out. But it just came into my head. Just like I have a lot of product titles in my business, like I have for the products that I have, they just come in. Boom, it's like something comes in and I'm like, oh, that's good. So let's go with it.
All right. So answer the question. Uh, was or were the girls, the hot girls, the car, and the big money the source of your happiness? And or did you find that you didn't need that? I mean, the more you have, the more you can give, the more you can
Yeah.
do. But what? How would you say now? What is the source of your happiness, fulfillment, whatever term you want
Yeah.
to use?
It's great. Yeah. So the source of my happiness is growth,
Great.
growth in all areas. So I don't know if any of the things necessarily depict growth in the title. Now, obviously, if you're desired by a lot of hot girls, then probably you're doing something in terms of growth to get that attention. But uh, yeah, the growth in terms of all areas is what makes me happy. So
Now, if we could take this into a much more depth, but how would you define well, what aspect of growth really provides that life fulfillment for you? Knowledge, or how would you define growth?
yeah. So yeah, knowledge, of course, but you almost have to look at your entire life like your car. When your car is brand new and cleaned and it's nice and everything's in order, it's kind of like that with your life. Got to look at yourself. Do you look like you're all cleaned up and in order? You look at if you have a business, is everything cleaned up and in order? You look at your home, is everything cleaned up and in order? And it starts with the very like all the little things like um fixing things that are broken or cleaning up your closet. Having everything organized leads to everything else. Um, Internal systems, everything you do, how you categorize files, everything. Um, yeah,
No, and I appreciate what you just said. I categorize a lot of what you just said as core values. That what are the fundamental principles about my life that satisfy me? And I do use the word harmony frequently. Is my life in harmony? Certainly not that I'm going to avoid any adversity, but do I know how to overcome? And do I have am I surrounded by the right people? Do I have the right mindset on the
yeah,
principles on which I want to move forward? And when those things are in line, I would say my life is in harmony. Not that not that everything is going to be in balance, but I have the confidence that we will overcome anything and everything. That seems to be very characteristic of your life.
Yeah, you just have to fix everything and prevent things from breaking too. So that's when you come up with systems. So if you can come up create with systems, there's tasks. Your whole life is basically things falling apart. So it's
Right.
like how can and all those take tasks. So you have to turn those tasks into repeatable things and then create a system to where everything is fixed. So I could say a lot about it, but basically you just got to fix everything and figure out where everything's wrong and keep working on it every day.
And when you've got the attitude that, hey, I'm going to continue to learn, I will fail forward. We use that expression frequently. And you learn from the past and you're continuously moving forward. Is that pretty much a characteristic of your life?
I try. I
Yep.
try. I try my best. I mean,
No, that's all good. Well, Yousef, on behalf of our listeners, I want to thank you for your life of overcoming setbacks and hey, hot women, cars, money. It can all happen, but you don't know your life is not necessarily going to be defined by necessarily those three traits. But we do know that I think it was Zig Ziglar who said that money may not be the most important part of life, but it's pretty close to oxygen. The more you have, the better life you can live. So, Yousef, thanks for sharing with our listeners, and you're a model of overcoming adversity through resilience. It's great to have you with us.
thanks for having me.
All right, you have a good day.
We appreciate having the opportunity to share our and our guests' life experiences with you.
The Cooper culture advances organizations to achieve and sustain high retention rates, connected communication, and trust through personality insights and principled leadership. You can contact us at our website, thecooperculture.com, and you can contact us directly at ron@thecooperculture.com or Marty, Marty, at thecooperculture.com. We work with you to help assess aspects of your culture to advance the environment and people to their best performance. We do that through our staff of certified personal performance coaches, leadership trainers, keynote speakers, and DISC personality behavior experts. You can book a speaking engagement directly through our website by contacting us at ron@thecooperculture.com. We look forward to sharing our life experiences with you, some of which are profound, some of which are pretty funny. Some of those life experiences are ones we'll never do that again because we've been through stuff. We truly look forward to working with you, speaking with you, helping advance you in any way that we can.